Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. Today, let's talk about the upcoming transit of Saturn going retrograde in the sign of Pisces. So this is happening between 13th of July to 28th of November 2025. And in this phase, Saturn will be retrograde in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, and then it will go into the Purva Bhadrapada on 3rd October 2025. So it's happening in the Bhadrapada Nakshatras. And these nakshatras are about stability, fighting all that chaos and challenges, finishing certain karmas, completing certain works, so that the true stability happens in your life. And it's not just the outer work, the outer unfinished business, but it's the more about the inner work, the stability you have to bring for yourself, how you face your own chaos and your own challenges, and you enlighten yourself, how you become more stable, more spiritual, more aligned with who you are. So this retrograde transit of Saturn is about going back deep within and finishing certain tasks, certain challenges which are connected to your emotions, connected to the unresolved I would say emotional challenges, unresolved questions you have, bringing closure in your life, going back and understanding what's not completed in your life, what's pending, what is bothering you. Going back, healing those areas, going back and understanding certain dreams which are not being fulfilled, whether to work on those dreams or to leave those dreams behind. So it's about inner work. There's this tide of ocean where Saturn is right now in Pisces. It's going inward and focusing a lot on your stability and facing what you always avoid facing, that is your very own emotion or some kind of idea. So yeah, this is about intense healing and closure for your very own self. So let's see how this transit will work for you as per your ascendant and the moon sign. For Aries, Saturn going retrograde in the 12th house in Pisces. For you, this transit is about practicing discernment, practicing boundaries, distance, because this may bring certain lessons back into your life where people breach the line. They will try to enter into your space, they may try to enter into your life, and they're just here to take your light, they're just here to take something from you. In your chart, Saturn rules the 10th house of your work. It's not just your profession, it is what you do from your hands, the work you do, the actions you take in life. So are you giving everything open-handedly, or you're trying to protect your very own self, your resources, your emotional energy? Because 12th house is more of emotional energy, more than the material energy here. So this going retrograde in the 12th house, it is about protecting your peace, protecting your space, protecting even your financial resources, using them very carefully, using your emotional energy very carefully. And it brings repeated lessons of people trying to drain you, draining your energy and your resources. So it shows again trying to learn about boundaries. It's not about keeping yourself in isolation, but protecting your peace is very important. And Saturn retrograde also shows you a path where you can really start working on your dreams. There's certain things which are unfulfilled, maybe some kind of broken dreams, unspoken dreams you have, and now those dreams are not going to align with who you are right now. Those dreams, those desires are not aligning with how life have been changing and how you are changing constantly. So it's leading to birth of new dreams. There's a detour in your path, in your life. The old dreams, the old thoughts, the old expectations are now not working for you. Like they live in a very abandoned place. They're still in your mind, but they are not something functional. So here you may face this void at this time, like the previous dreams, the previous plans are not working. So where am I in life? So it's like a transition between the very old version of you and the very new version of you. You haven't arrived to the new version, so you're somewhere in between, in a very big shift in life. But the beautiful part of this is a deep connection with self. I think you will isolate yourself, or maybe people, how they are around you, their mindset, it may not align with you currently. So it's kind of you being in seclusion, and a beautiful time to strengthen yourself and acceptance is very important. What might have happened in the last few months or years, accepting that and moving forward in life, that processing is going to happen with the retrograde Saturn. And a lot of introspection will also happen, not just what is your purpose and where you are going in life. This introspection may also happen in your career. It may happen in what you want to do in life. So it may change your ideas, it may change your perspective in many areas of life, especially even in the career. It may happen. It may also lead to some kind of travel which can be draining in nature. This travel can be because of work, and it's quite draining in nature. And how you use your finances and your emotional resources, it needs great care at this time. For Taurus, Saturn going retrograde in the 11th house in Pisces. So this is the time when there's a very big change happening for you in the career, and it's not something instant. It may require waiting, it may require this anticipation, like what will happen next. It's a kind of an anticipation period, waiting for that right thing to happen, waiting for that result to happen, some kind of reward which you truly deserve, this gain you truly deserve. It will come into your journey, but there is some kind of waiting which Saturn indicates. And overall, 11th house is how you are growing in life, how the growth, how the success defines your future plans, how it defines your future growth. So for Taurus, you are working on something long term. And to create something long term, to have the benefit of that success for long term, it requires a lot of work, and a work which is almost on a microscopic level. So Saturn intensifies the dedication. Saturn intensifies the waiting. Whether it's your work, whether it's anything you want to gain in life, you want to grow something in life, it requires waiting. And Saturn here is retrograde in its own nakshatra, and then it will be going retrograde in the Jupiter's nakshatra as well. So it is also about a deep review of your relationships, especially your network, people around you, friends, important connections in your life. It shows some people are not so great. You don't deserve to be a part of that circle. People who drain you, people who are just here to take advantage of what you have to offer. So 11th house is about connections, and these connections are one of those social connections. and some people are not on your side. Saturn challenges the greatest friendships you have right now, the amazing friendships or connections you have. It also creates some struggles with the elder sibling. If already the relationship with the elder sibling is tough, it's challenging, Saturn may make it difficult. Or maybe the life of your elder sibling may be quite challenging at this time. So Saturn shows a little bit of weight, or like before we reach to this new shift, new change, what you have to do right now, those minor adjustments, changes, and this is what you are doing. I think before a big victory, you are going through this process of stagnation, but it's not long term, and it also will point towards how you have to change your strategies in life, how you connect with others, how you give yourself to others, how you give your energy to others. Because 11th house is a house of giving. It is about achievements also, but it is a house deeply connected to future, deeply connected to humanitarian work. So when you give something to others, let it be an act of humanity. Don't expect anything in return. Do not sit and compare, I did this and this person is not giving me anything in return. Just Saturn here is asking you to let go of what you offered and what you're offering to the world. But yes, certain connections are not meaningful. They trigger the worst in you, and it's high time to let them go, because these people may drain your dreams, these people may drain your purpose and your ambitions, who you truly are. So that needs a little bit of discernment. For Gemini, Saturn will go retrograde in your 10th house in Pisces. It will be retrograde in the Saturn's nakshatra, and then it will go retrograde in the Jupiter's nakshatra. This is the time when you must trust, have faith in what you are doing in life, whether it's your career, whether it's your purpose, whatever is significant for you right now. You have a certain vision, you have a certain idea about life, and I think intuitively also you feel that this is my path. But there's so many questions in your mind. There is a lot of doubt in your mind, because you also have Rahu in the 9th house currently in Aquarius. So Rahu will really enhance your reach to the people and the world. What you have to offer, the world can clearly view that. But Rahu creates a lot of doubt deep within. And Saturn shows that being in the 10th house going retrograde, it shows faith is required. Because I don't feel it's more of the outer obstacles, outer interferences. It's more of the inner interferences which may block you from doing what is required. Saturn shows there are certain plans, dreams which you want to really execute in your career. Or maybe there are some internal changes you want. You want to be more strong. You want to be more aligned, like the soul aligning with the body, the mind. You want to be more fit. You want to be more energetic. So there are certain things you want to do, but Saturn keeps you in this stagnation, where certain unfulfilled dreams, certain unfinished business with people, it blocks you from becoming your best, doing your best in life, because those situations or those people really blocked your faith. They challenged your faith. So you may feel that whatever I do, it's not gonna work in the right way, or my path is so difficult right now, it may continue to be difficult even in the future. So that kind of tension or block is Saturn is bringing in the 10th house. It's like overcoming your internal negative voice, overcoming your internal blocks, at this time. It's a battle between you and your mind, or the inner resistance. Saturn is resistance, or you can say Saturn is more of the inertia, how we want to go in a direction but still we feel that resistance to move, because somehow the mind is saying it won't work, whatever I'm trying to do, it won't work. So Saturn shows that you are on a very meaningful path. In the 10th house, it shows all you need to do is to be very dedicated in life, dedicated towards what you are doing. Maybe it's not happening in a disciplined way, but be consistent with what you are doing. So becoming consistent may be challenged by Saturn, because the internal emotions, thought process is blocking you. There are days when you will be very productive, there are days when you'll not be very productive, and that is okay. But Saturn shows be consistent with your mindset, be consistent with your actions. Don't leave things in between. This is where you have to work the most. And Saturn shows preparing for something huge. There's a dream, there's a vision you're working on in life. It could be anything, again, work, or it is about you, your progress as a person. You will be very successful in that. For Cancer, Saturn going retrograde in the 9th house in Pisces. So it will be retrograde in its own nakshatra, and then it is going retrograde in the Jupiter's nakshatra as well. For Cancer, Saturn shows you will be blessed with very good opportunities. Saturn shows there is opportunity waiting for you, but there is indecision, because 9th house is connected to spirituality. 9th house is connected to how you are aligning with your higher self. And what is the higher self? It is the part of you which knows the truth, which knows what is right and wrong. So Saturn shows certain spiritual blocks you're facing at this time. There is confusion about what is right for me and what is not right for me, which opportunity I should choose and which opportunity I should leave behind. Saturn shows, because 9th house is the house of teacher, the guru, and Saturn transiting from here in retrograde motion. So it shows two things. Number one, trying to review and look back into your career. That what is your true vision? What you really want to pursue in your career? Thinking about that, and accordingly planning some kind of a learning program or mastering a certain skill may happen for you. You are now trying to really go deeper into your career path, or maybe you want to learn something, maybe you want to shift into a different career. So that kind of introspection and learning is going to happen. The second thing is definitely about faith, about your soul purpose, about a certain realization which will happen at this time, that I am meant for this work, I'm meant for this kind of life path. Certain important decisions will be taken regarding your life, how you want to see yourself in the future. Sometimes what we do on daily basis, our work, it doesn't aligns with our happiness, or it doesn't aligns with our spiritual aspect. So here you want to balance your work in such a way that you feel happy, you feel more connected to your work. This is where you are working. And this could also be a conflict of what you are doing in life, what kind of experiences you're going in life right now. You feel a void, which is about, I don't know what is my purpose. I don't know where am I going in life. Even if you're doing good in your journey, I don't know where am I going. And this confusion not only comes through Saturn, but it also comes through Rahu in the 8th house in Aquarius. You're very aware of your potential, you're very aware of what you can do in life, but Rahu brings the fear. What if my potential goes waste? What if I'm not in the right path? What if what I have today I may lose it tomorrow? So these fears are very strong with Rahu. Plans of future are it kind of challenges you. What should be my plan for the future? And also there's some kind of realization, a big realization of your purpose which happens here. And Saturn also shows, you're trying to hold on to a certain idea or a dream. Tightly you're holding on to that dream which is not working for you. It's just making you bleed, it's making you hurt. But still holding on to that dream so bad. Because see, Saturn in Pisces and the Jupiter is in Gemini in the 12th house. So holding on to a dream which is not really helping you right now. So there is a releasing yourself from that dream, because your potential and who you truly are, it's meant for something else maybe. Or maybe Saturn shows a certain vision which is perfection for you. This is what I want from life, and it's kind of hurting you right now. So it is about letting go of those dreams and finally aligning with your inner truth, like what you truly feel right now, where you are in life right now in life, emotionally, mentally. Your dreams should align with that. So big shift in thinking, ideology, and a big shift in the career, because you're going for some kind of higher learning. For Leo, Saturn retrograde in the 8th house in Pisces, and it will go retrograde in the Saturn's nakshatra first, and then it will be retrograde in the Jupiter's nakshatra, the Bhadrapada nakshatras. So for Leo, this is a time when expect the unexpected. This is how the 8th house works. So this is about, number one, you have worked very hard in a certain aspect of life. Maybe it's your career, maybe you're working a lot over your relationships, or maybe you're working a lot on your health. You like, there's a constant lesson being learned repeatedly. There's a lesson being learned either with respect to well-being, whether it's a connection, a relationship, or whether it's your work. And Saturn helps you to master over that issue, to master over that lesson. Like, okay, no more repeating lesson like that. Saturn definitely shows a big shock or setback you have experienced till now in the recent few months, in the last few months. It's a jolt. Like, we are living in a dream, we are living in a mindset, we have a certain idea about life. Okay, this is what I want, this is where am I going. It's like, how you view the world with rose tinted glasses, and then eventually that glass gets cracked. So broken rose glasses. This is what I wanted, this is how things were going for me, and suddenly the reality happened. Suddenly a shift happened, and now I'm afraid where life is going, especially in relationships. For Leo, I do see relationships have been heavy, because you already had Saturn in the 7th house earlier, and now the Rahu is visiting this house, and you have Saturn in the 8th house. 8th house is so significant with respect to the sudden realizations in life, sudden events happening in life. 8th house is responsible for better communication in a relationship, how things work, how two people's energy are working together. So it shows certain expectations, but things are not happening that way. So on one hand, Saturn shows a very unexpected victory for you, unexpected gain for you. You have worked on something very hard, and suddenly it will give you a good result. Suddenly it will give you good gain, because see, Saturn in the sign of Jupiter in the 11th house in Gemini. So sudden results, sudden gain may happen for you at this time. And in October, Jupiter will be in the 12th house in Cancer, and that time also Saturn is retrograde. So this is also about you really need to take care of your health, your emotions, or your physical energy, preserving that, nourishing that, protecting it. Preservation is significant. But this retrograde motion of Saturn in the eighth house shows you're fighting your fears, and you will overcome those fears in a great manner. Secondly, Saturn shows aligning with someone, a significant relationship or a bond with someone. Finally, you're not just going with the flow, you're not looking into the illusions, because Saturn shows illusions in relationships. When there is distance, when there is a gap, the mind starts creating stories and explanations. No more buying those illusions. Working on the clarity of relationships, marriage, or any romantic connection or a live-in connection. The reality, understanding the reality in a connection, and going beyond those dreams and expectations in a relationship. Looking at the reality is very important, especially when Saturn goes retrograde in Purva Bhadrapada, Jupiter's nakshatra. Some kind of reality check will happen for you in a connection. You will understand the other person's perspective in a clear manner. Saturn shows unexpected, there is some kind of gain. Saturn shows some kind of reality will be revealed to you. A truth will be revealed to you at this time. For Virgo, Saturn going retrograde in the seventh house in Pisces, and it will be retrograde in the nakshatra of Saturn and then the nakshatra of Jupiter, from Uttara Bhadrapada to Purva Bhadrapada. Okay, so Saturn over here, it shows two things. Number one, this is the house of public dealing. The people you meet on a daily basis, you interact with your clients or people at work. Seventh house is the public dealing, interaction with the world. So it shows your mindset, your ideas are not aligning with other people. You may feel a certain pressure of people's expectations. You may feel a burden of even the loved ones or important people in your life. Like they are deciding the path for you. They're deciding what is right and what is wrong for you. So that is the friction. I always say Saturn is the inertia. So something is at rest and you immediately try to, give a motion to that, a movement to it. So it will resist that. It will definitely feel that resistance. So you feel some resistance when it comes to your connections with people. They may try to force something, they may try to tell you something, they may try to even change your dreams. Like they're so into your life, they're really breaching that privacy, that they're entering into your life and telling you this is not what you have to do. So you feel that inertia, that I don't want to move as per people's directions and what they expect from me. But on the other hand, this is a placement which really helps you to evolve in the eyes of people. You will see a massive shift in how the world views you. They will see how strong you are, how powerful you are, your tactics, how you deal with the world. They're very clever, they're very smart. I think some kind of illusion will go away regarding you and who you are. You will break that illusion. People may underestimate you, people may question your work or your behavior, but you will overcome that. You're going to break that illusion for the world. And they will be so surprised to know how amazing you are, how efficient you are, how successful you are. When it comes to personal connections and relationships, Saturn is going to challenge the compatibility. It is about the unsaid things in significant relationship. Something being unsaid, something being not discussed, something unexpressed in a relationship. And this is where you are working in your relationships. It is about resolving those matters, resolving those issues, expressing yourself and sorting out that issue. It requires tremendous communication and effort because Saturn is in the sign of Pisces, Jupiter is in Gemini in the 10th house. So it is about a better communication, whether it's your work front, whether it's your personal connections, the expression, the communication. It's important. You know that Saturn shows if you speak up, if you say your truth, if you confront someone, it will be chaotic, it won't be easy, and you may avoid that communication or that confrontation, but this is the time you do it because Saturn shows unspoken things, unspoken feelings taking a heavy toll on you. A deep burden is shown by Saturn. Saturn shows unfinished business in a connection or a bond with someone, soul contracts. So Saturn will help you to remove the blocks in the career. It will help you to have a very strong position at the work front, and people will have more clarity about your potential. But when it comes to soul level and the personal connections, relationships, it shows that the true strength in a relationship will only happen when the unspoken things, the unresolved issues in relationship needs to be confronted rather than being escaped. So that requires a lot of work. For Libra, Saturn will go retrograde in your 6th house in Pisces. It will be transiting from Uttara Bhadrapada to Purva Bhadrapada. So for Libra, this is the transit where you will deeply connect to your inner power. You have to really wake up at this time from a deep slumber. It's like a person who is having a great potential, someone who knows this is my time to fight for what I want in life, but still there is some fear, there is still some kind of overthinking. You have to overcome a big block, and that is the theme of this transit: internal blocks, internal narrative, what you are saying to yourself, the emotional baggage you carry in this life. Maybe there's a way of life you want things to happen. This is how things should be, this is how the life should look like. There's a dream, there's a vision in your mind, but maybe that dream is stopping you from many other beautiful things in life. It could also be about maybe your career plans. It could be about a certain connection with someone. You're very adamant, okay, this is what I want. This is how things should work for me. This is the person who was meant for me. And this is how my life should look like. But it is not working. Saturn here going inward. The tide is inward. Low. You may feel a bit low. You may feel a bit of disturbed. Okay, this is not working for me, because you have to overcome that. You have to go beyond a certain dream, a certain expectation or emotion, because somehow Saturn in Pisces retrograde in the 6th house shows you are standing in your own way. You're standing in the very own path, your own path, because a certain idea, dream, mindset is not allowing you to go beyond that, and you will overcome that successfully. It's like a warrior. Saturn here is like a warrior. Warrior, which is about overcoming certain dreams, expectations of life, confronting it. Okay, this is not happening this way, so I must move forward, and you will beautifully move forward. Because Saturn is in the sign of Jupiter, Jupiter in the 9th house in Gemini. You will go beyond this battle of mind and emotions. Secondly, it shows the work. The work can be very draining in nature. It doesn't allows you to have a balanced life, a balanced routine, a healthy lifestyle. So working on your health is very important. Saturn will help you to go into a very deep rooted change, to create a structure with respect to your well-being, your fitness, your daily life. That kind of shift is required because very soon Mars will go into Virgo, opposite to Saturn also. So this is going to be a bit tough with respect to the regularity in life, how you want to do your work regularly, your fitness, taking care of everything in a proper routine. It leads to that friction, mental and physical. It is challenging. It's kind of a lot of work or pressure on you. So Saturn shows the need to heal physically and emotionally, having a proper schedule of sleep, exercise, good food. And number three, with respect to career, yes, you're feeling overburdened. You may feel that there are also unspoken challenges, like there is lack of confrontation with certain people. It could be the people at the work front or the very close ones, maybe family, relatives. There is a battle, there is a challenge, but it's kind of not much into the communication, but it's like a cold war happening for you. So it's better not to uh, drain yourself in that battle. Either you directly confront, or you move on from that, because there's this unspoken pressure, burden on you from others, and it stops you from doing your best in life. It is impacting and draining your potential. But you may find very good opportunities at this time as well, because Jupiter will fully give you that opportunity. So it's like facing your own chaos and overcoming that. This is the theme. For Scorpio, Saturn going retrograde in the fifth house in Pisces, and it will be transiting from the nakshatra of Saturn to the nakshatra of Jupiter, Uttara Bhadrapada to the Purva Bhadrapada nakshatra. Fifth house, directly it shows fifth house is a lot about self-love and internal healing. Saturn here in the house of Purva Punya, in the house of the inner child healing. This shows there are certain situations, certain experiences at this time. They may take you back to your young age when you were a child, how the harsh experiences were at that time, whatever you might have witnessed, and that led to a certain emotion or behavior in your adulthood. So you may go back and Saturn will show you what went wrong, what you required at that time and you never received it. I think Saturn brings that maturity, and what you were lacking at that time, you will receive it. I think you will give it to yourself. Here, it leads to a lot of emotional maturity. Saturn here will strengthen you. It's about the dreams of past, the dreams which you were aiming for when you were a child, when you were younger. It could be a dream of a significant career. It could be a dream of having a healthy relationship. So Saturn shows, see, this is how you were and this is what you required, and you can now give it to yourself. You can give yourself the love, you can give yourself the security, because fifth house also connects to love. It connects to emotional happiness, celebration of life. So Saturn takes you to this point of giving yourself what others failed to give you. So Saturn shows immense maturity. Saturn may take you back to memories, may take you back to even certain people who are a part of your life. They're not a constant part of your life. They come and go and they may come back again, but you will not choose those people again, because it's like freedom from a certain chain, a constant chain of people, kind of patterns, kind of lessons. And finally, there will be so much of maturity that you will leave those things behind. Saturn shows that maybe the dreams you had at one point of time are no longer relevant for you today. So you're moving forward with new ideas, new dreams, new planning in life. Saturn shows this is the house of celebration, so you are going to really celebrate your individuality. You're going to celebrate who you have become in life. You will truly um, see a big shift in how you treat yourself. And if you are in an emotional connection, a relationship, a romantic connection, Saturn may bring some difficulties for you. Because here, what happens is that the person you might be dealing with, that person might not be accountable, may not take the responsibilities properly. Like there is an illusion of a connection, but it is not there. The work which is required in a connection, it's not there. So you may demand that connection, you may demand that work, and the other person is not confronting you responsibly. So the responsibilities, the accountability in a relationship is being challenged by Saturn. Saturn also aspects the seventh house, Taurus. So you demand that stability, and then the truth of the other person is discovered. With respect to work, Saturn in this house going retrograde shows that it's a deep dive into your potential, a deep dive into your skill set. You will attain a certain mastery and you will excel in your work, and you will go beyond other people's reach. It's like some kind of mastery you will achieve, and it's time to also go back and work on your skill. Like some improvement is required because you have Ketu in the 10th house right now in Leo, so it also demands a certain rebirth in your professional journey, in your purpose as well. So Saturn shows some kind of mastery will happen for you with respect to your skill set. For Sagittarius, Saturn will go retrograde in the 4th house in Pisces and is transiting from the nakshatra of Saturn to the nakshatra of Jupiter, from Uttara Bhadrapada to Purva Bhadrapada nakshatra. Saturn is pointing towards emotional connections. 4th house is very important when it comes to the emotional bonding, the emotional connections you have in life, the security you have in these relationships, the overall structure of your life, the foundation of your journey. It's about two things: how the finances and your property, everything, finances, property, the very financial foundation of life, how it is giving you a security, and how the relationships are giving you a security. And Saturn here going retrograde in Pisces, it is about a review of what is true security in your life. Saturn may bring a fear of losing people. Saturn may bring the fear of you losing your stability because you have a fear of losing people, their connection. You may have a fear of losing your financial stability. And you have to overcome that. Saturn shows here that if you are very aligned with your true strength, emotionally, physically, spiritually, if you are strong, if your core is strong, 4th house is your core, emotional core. If that is strong, you can withstand any force of life, any challenge of life. So Saturn here brings the need to have you stand on your own feet, how you take care of your own self, how is your relationship with your very own self. This is where you have to work the most. People, you may see a shift in people's behavior, especially with whom you have this emotional bonding. It is about a review in those connections where emotions are involved. Saturn retrograde over here also shows a big move. For some people, it is about a big move from one place to another, one purchasing a home, purchasing a new property. But it is not easy because you are leaving familiarity. You are leaving something which is so known to you. Your roots are connected to it. So it's like going beyond your roots. It's a physical shift, moving into a different place. It could be an emotional shift, leaving certain people you thought they were your emotional roots. Because if you live with those connections, you will never feel alive, you will never feel stable. They challenge you. People who repetitively are draining you, now you're saying a goodbye to them, letting go of those connections and standing on your own feet, having your own strength. This is where Saturn wants you to work. And Saturn is in Pisces, and Jupiter is in seventh house at this time in Gemini. So it is about people, it is about soul contracts, it is about public, the people you meet maybe on a daily basis, maybe at your work front, maybe it's a business partner, maybe it's the loving partner, a marriage, a significant relationship. Saturn gives you the wisdom that you are a different person and the other person is also someone with a different mentality. But to be in loss, to be in abandonment, to preserve a connection, to preserve a contract, to preserve someone, something, but you are in a total loss. You should not do that for yourself. You should not do that injustice to yourself for the sake of other person's happiness. So this is how you're taking your own stand, learning to take your own stand in life and be your very own safety place, your very own strength. You have to be your own strength. This is what Saturn wants you to learn. And you already have Ketu in the ninth house in Leo, which is telling you to step up spiritually, to embrace your identity. You are not alone. It's the wrong people who may make you feel alone. So learning to be on your own, it's a very big thing Sagittarius have to learn. And I do see some kind of shift with respect to your investment in a property, like selling maybe an old house or property and investing into a new one. That may also happen for you. For some people, it is about also a shift in relationships. For Capricorn, Saturn going retrograde in the third house in Pisces. It will be transiting from Saturn's nakshatra to the Jupiter's nakshatra, from Uttara Bhadrapada to Purva Bhadrapada. Saturn for Capricorn right now is helping you to strengthen yourself. Because Jupiter originally also rules the 12th house of dreams. And Saturn is in Pisces right now in the third house. So now you, with this retrograde motion, you're working on your courage to understand, to accept that certain dreams, certain plans in your mind, they never worked. There are certain broken dreams and it needs a lot of courage to really accept it. Because right now, Jupiter, it is a dispositor for Saturn and it is in the sixth house of challenges, obstacles, but also this is the house of winning. This is the house of overcoming biggest struggles in life. It's a victory house. So Jupiter being the 12th lord, third lord in the sixth house, and Saturn in the third house, it is about endurance and courage and strength to see, okay, this is what I was planning for, aiming for. It's so connected to my heart, but it never happened. It's not happening the way I wanted. So it is not about you abandoning yourself in this process, but you are leaving behind certain ideas, dreams which never worked for you. There is acceptance, and the Jupiter shows you're overcoming this emotional chaos in a very beautiful manner. And this transit of Saturn in the third house, Jupiter in the sixth house, is also a sign of a massive courage. It is about great endurance and power emotionally, that you will be working on your new goals. There are certain new goals happening in your life, whether it's your career, whether it's your purpose, whether it's your wellness. You are striving for a big shift. The mind is beautifully aligning with today, with now, the present. Saturn will give you the closure. And I think like if you want a closure from people, you may get a certain message, you may get a certain answer, a communication may happen where you will get your closure. There is a possibility. But Saturn also shows, because it is the first lord in the third house right now, it also shows that you may give yourself a certain ending. You will reach to a conclusion, you will give yourself a closure at this time about a significant situation of life. So the first lord in the third house going retrograde in Pisces, especially it will go back again to Purva Bhadrapada. It is about um, a beautiful strength discovered, working on your plans, working on your goals efficiently with a lot of strength, working on your health as well, because you have Rahu in the second house, Jupiter in the sixth house. This is about what you eat, how you take care of yourself, how you value yourself. So it is about emotional and physical healing as well, working on your finances. There's growth in the business you do, the growth in the work you are doing. Saturn enhances your ability to dedicate yourself, even if the mind is full of certain doubts, the mind is full of certain past memories which are bothering you, draining you. You feel drained. Your physical energy feels drained. Your emotions may feel drained. But still, Saturn shows you're keeping up with it. You're consistent with what you are doing in life, what you are aiming in life. And this consistent work, this strength will be rewarded by Saturn. So there's a lot of maturity, growth which is happening for the Capricorn people, and it will lead to financial growth. It will lead to successfully completing of certain plans. There's a big shift because third house is the efforts. Third house connects to the strategies in life. So okay, this plan is not working for me, let's go with this plan, let's go with another plan. So there's a lot of planning which is happening. It's like from the previous dreams, the previous planning, you're extracting certain important things and you're creating new plans. So there's a great strength which is found at this time, and also overcoming big blocks with respect to health, overcoming obstacles, rivalry in a great way. For Aquarius, Saturn going retrograde in the second house in Pisces, it will be transiting from Uttara Bhadrapada to Purva Bhadrapada, from nakshatra of Saturn to the nakshatra of Jupiter. And the Jupiter right now is in the fifth house in Gemini. There are two things which are happening for Aquarius. Number one, choosing your own happiness. And when you are choosing your own happiness and you're choosing what is valuable to you, it interferes with what the family expects from you, what the family desires from you. It is like a mix of, if I chase my dreams, if I follow my path, then something is being compromised in this journey, and that is the expectations of loved ones. It's like what you value, what they value, it's in a conflict. But since the Jupiter is in the fifth house of happiness, celebration, you will choose. It's hard to make the choice, but it shows choosing what you truly want in life. What is your true happiness? Where your true happiness lives, you are choosing that aspect of your journey. So Saturn going retrograde here in the second house shows looking back into your life, your experiences, your dreams, your desires, and how there are times when you saw financial losses, you saw some kind of struggle with your energy, emotional loss, emotionally draining yourself over something. So now the soul wants to work on preservation, bringing back those resources, bringing back that emotional stability in your life. So second house belongs to Taurus, and the very draining energy of Saturn and Pisces over here, it gives a shift towards, let me work on certain areas of life, let me plan, let me enhance my journey. So it is about working on wealth, working on your dreams as well. What is important for you, whatever you value the most. It's so hard to stick to that, to follow that, because there are so many questions and doubts and challenges which comes from the people. But you are doing that, you will strive for it. What is the dream for you, you will align with that healing of a certain dream, because Saturn is the 12th lord and the first lord in the second house. So it's about preserving something and also working on what you have lost. So it's about a review about life, about certain actions done in the past which led to a loss, which led to struggles in life. You're trying to make it better, you're trying to heal those areas of life. And of course, the family life will be very challenging in nature, because the people may demand your efforts, they may demand a lot with respect to finances or your dedication towards them. And in this process, you may feel disconnected from your dreams, you may feel disconnected what is important for you. So it's a challenge between maintaining these two aspects of life: what you want, what you value, versus what others are, imposing on you. This is what you need to do in life. And the Jupiter in the fifth house, which is actually good. Jupiter in the fifth house shows that you will listen to your very own self. You will follow a path which you truly, thoroughly celebrate and enjoy in life. Saturn shows with respect to the career, finances are important. A shift in the career, the actions you may take just to preserve your existing wealth and to further expand it. You're working on security, whether it's family security, financial security, and the security with respect to your dreams. The fulfillment of your dreams is significant for you right now. And also, with Rahu Ketu axis in the first and the seventh house, this is a big tug of war between your growth, your future plans, and the seventh house keeping you blocked, because you feel that identity crisis among the people, among how people are challenging you. The relationships are blocking you from your very own individuality. But Rahu's energy is a very rebel kind of energy. So Rahu in the first house helps you to go beyond these restrictions from people. It is a period which demands intense growth, intense expansion, but it is happening uh, with some kind of restriction which comes from society or people. Last but not the least, let's talk about Pisces. So, Saturn going retrograde in the first house in Pisces. It is transiting from nakshatra of Saturn to Jupiter's nakshatra, which is from Uttara Bhadrapada to Purva Bhadrapada. So, the Saturn's transit here shows deep introspection, going deeper into your dreams, your mindset, your ideas, even your physical health, trying to overcome something which was never fulfilled in your life. Certain expectations and dreams, they were significant for you, but I think it's taking a toll on your health. Anything which was not fulfilled and completed, it's taking a toll on your emotions, feeling the weight, feeling the burden of those things which are unsaid, unfulfilled, unfinished in life. It kind of creates, because Saturn is like Saturn's gravity is as such. Anything comes close to it, it's shattered into millions of pieces. That's why Saturn is having those beautiful rings. So it is about uh, the burden of what is not fulfilled challenging you, but you can't take that burden. Like, you're reaching to a limit when these things will be dissolved, these things will go away, overcoming the burden of these unfinished business, unfinished challenges, unfinished something about that which is not fulfilled. Again, I'm saying that. So it is about overcoming those things. Saturn is the 12th lord transiting from the first house. You have Rahu in the 12th house. So Rahu's attachment to what is dear to you, what is important to you, it's there. But Rahu here is also showing you that you can move beyond it. You have a path beyond these dreams and expectations. Rahu shows overcoming certain patterns, repetitive patterns in life. And it demands a lot of courage because you're facing so many illusions. You're facing so many, maybe it's an addiction, maybe it's like going back to the same pattern, to the same person, to the same situation, mentally being stuck in something. So, this is something which you have to outgrow in life. Saturn is the 11th lord in the first house. There's a great potential of growth. There's a great potential of succeeding in your material life, new connections, new work opportunities. But like deep within, like materially you will prosper, but emotionally you feel some baggage of responsibilities towards loved ones, or how certain things were not fulfilled. Saturn's dispositor right now is Jupiter in the fourth house in Gemini. So you are creating a new foundation in life with respect to wealth, with respect to maybe your material assets, purchasing a new house, investing into a new place. So very solid growth, and even there's a big shift or movement happening for you, moving into a new place, moving into a new house, maybe moving into a new company. So it's a big thing, big shift with these two planets, major planets in the kendras. There is a big change you will see in life. But also when we go into a different direction, we go into a different path in life, what was important to you, what once felt like security for us, it's hard to leave those things behind. So emotionally you're going through that. And Saturn shows that the physical health, that also needs great care, because you have Ketu 6 places away from Saturn in Leo. So it shows struggles with respect to health. Maybe there are times when there is lack of confidence, there is lack of positivity, and that leads to health issues for you. So it is about almost like a rebirth, because Saturn is in first house, it's retrograde here. It is about like a rebirth, going into a new direction in life. But something is so beautiful about the past which is not so fulfilled. You are stuck in that, and it's so hard to outgrow that. It's so hard to leave something behind. It is about realigning with what's next for you, realigning with the path which is right there in front of you. That big shift happens for you.